How many of you grew up wanting to skateboard or had the thought of skateboarding? If you said yes and were born in the same time period as many others, aka the early to late 90s, then you're probably familiar with Tony Hawk, the person I'm giving my informative speech on today. Tony Hawk's a professional skateboarder who has inspired thousands of people and has entered the mainstream pop culture. Today I'll discuss his humble beginnings in life, how he rose to the top, and how he broke through in popularity to enter the mainstream, along with his influencing on it. So Tony Hawk was born on May 12, 1968 in San Diego, California. At the age of 9, he was given his first skateboard by his older brother, and at the age of 11, he was entering contests where he was wowing and inspiring many people during those times with his creative tricks and his daring maneuvers. By the age of 12, he was already sponsored. By the age of 14, he was already professional. And by the age of 16, he was already considered the best in the world. Speaking of those contests, by the age of 25, Tony had already entered 103 pro contests, where he won 73 of them and came in second place in 19, a record which has not been beaten as of today. However, with all of these accolades, Tony wasn't always on top in other aspects of life. In the same time period where he was rising to the top in skateboarding was also beginning to flounder out. And at that time, Tony had a business that he ran called Birdhouse Projects, and it was basically a skateboarding company that helped supply other skaters along with himself. And due to the falling popularity of skateboarding, it was basically on the cusp of bankruptcy. And times were tough for Tony. He was basically losing money and everything, and he was almost forced to give up the sport that he loved. However, there was a resurgence that occurred within the mid-90s that helped spring him back to the top and push him straight into the mainstream. With the extreme subculture that was coming back and skateboarding was becoming more popular, it all culminated in the 1999 X Games, where with millions of people watching, Tony Hawk performed the first ever 900, which is a trick where you rotate your body a full 900 degrees on the board in the air. After landing that, people were amazed and all the spotlight was back on skateboarding again. Later that same year, in 1999, Tony Hawk went on to allow his license to be used and his likeness in the hit series Tony Hawk Pro Skater, which has sold over $1 billion in sales and is one of the highest grossing game series of all time. However, all things wouldn't last, as in the same year of 1999, a very eventful year for him, he would retire due to the wear and tear of all the competitions and such that had occurred on his body over the period of time that he was skateboarding. However, he hasn't stepped away from the sport at all, where today he still runs his businesses that he has, such as the Birdhouse skateboarding company, and he also runs the Tony Hawk Foundation, which is all about setting up skate parks in lower income areas all across the United States. So, in conclusion, I told you how he began his life. He was basically a prodigy ever since he got his skateboard. How he was a dominant force even when he was younger and still in his teenage years. How he rose to the top, basically staying there and being one of the most profound and notable skateboarders in all of skateboarding history. And how he broke through with his mainstream appeal, where he had his video game series, and he's also had his YouTube channel, along with making appearances in movies and TV shows such as like The Simpsons. Tony Hawk's an influential skater, and he'll be remembered as such, not for just skateboarding reasoning, but also for breaking through as a celebrity. This is my report on Tony Hawk, the man who made thousands of young teens and kids want to go outside and skateboard. And then I've got my citations here. I used biography.com. Its authors were biography.com editors, and that was created on April 1st, 2014. Britannica.com, which has the authors of the editors of the Encyclopedia Britannica, which had a date of July 18th, 2019. TonyHawk.com. I couldn't find any of the authors on there, so I went with the Hawk Management Team, and that was accessed July 25th, 2019. TheFamousPeople.com, where the editors of The Famous People created the article, which was created October 3rd, 2017. And Mike.com, written by Tom Barnes on December 16th, 2014, which went over basically how his music was influential to others in his video games. And that's about it.